Alright, today's beginner bass lesson is going to be more on the bass guitar minor scales, and we're going to we'll be covering the minor modes, another mode of the harmonic minor. And if you didn't see that, check that out here. I'll leave two cards up here. I got two videos on the harmonic minor and the second mode of the harmonic minor. So check those out and we'll dive right into it in a minute. So if you're new to my channel, this is I Want to Play Bass, your YouTube channel. Got lots of bass guitar tips, lessons, gear reviews, all kinds of good stuff. So subscribe, hit that bell notification, get in the loop, and don't miss a beat. And if you don't know me, I'm Donald Witt, the bass instructor of the How to Play Bass online course at iwanttoPlayBass.com. Jump over there, subscribe as well. Get your free ebook on setting your bass up and become a member. Sign up and become a member when you're serious about your bass playing, about reaching your bass playing goals. So it's all there. Everything you need from the fundamentals, nailing the fundamentals, up to improvisational skills. So definitely look forward to seeing you there. Now, the minor modes of the harmonic minor, the modes of the harmonic minor is what we're talking about today. Now, we've talked about the second mode. Today we're going to be talking about the third mode, which is the Ionian, which is called the Ionian augmented fifth. So that's one way to remember it. There's a few different names for these modes, but this one I like to refer to it as the Ionian augmented fifth. That's an easier way to remember it, and you just know that it is, that's all it is. It's the Ionian scale with an augmented fifth. Now we call this the Ionian augmented because say you're in the key of G, the sixth is the relative minor, right? So that's the natural minor, the Aeolian. So you can go to the minor key, you go into the relative of that G, and that's the, that's E. I think I might have said A, but that's E. It's E minor, E natural minor. So when you're in the E, say we're in the E, we're doing the E harmonic minor. Let's go to E. So we're in the E harmonic minor. Now, what is the third of that? Is the G. So that's how we get the Ionian, because that's actually, E is the relative minor of G. So that's why the third scale, third mode of the harmonic minor is going to be called the Ionian augmented fifth. And that just means that it's a major scale, but it has, instead of a fifth, a perfect fifth, it has an augmented fifth. The fifth is a sharp 5. So then we get this pattern right here. Whoops. So it's a whole step. Okay, so that is our Ionian sharp 5, augmented 5. That is that right there. So you ever see a minor 7 chord sharp 5, you can go with that, and well, you're not going to use that because you don't have a minor 7. So if you ever see a minor augmented fifth sharp 5 chord, you can use that. And now that one's, there's, like I say, diminished, dominant, diminished, all of this, all this stuff works in there. So there's different terminology for all of this stuff. So that arpeggio's a diminished arpeggio. Okay, so it's got that effect as well. So there's different names for these things and these modes and these scales, but there's only 12 notes in there. So you can only change it so much, but it definitely has its place in music, and that's why they decipher the two. So that is our third mode of the harmonic minor, and that is Ionian augmented 5. And this pattern here is going to be, we'll do it on E, okay? We'll do the harmonic minor. Now we're going to do the Ionian augmented 5. Okay, so we'll do the harmonic minor, and then I'm going to give the pattern, I'm going to play the Ionian augmented 5 using the same root so you can hear the difference between the two. Okay, here we go. Okay, can you hear the difference? A little bit. So you got whole step, but it isn't your typical with the diminished. It's not your standard whole step, half step, your symmetrical scale. It isn't a symmetrical scale because it's whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step. So it's not like your diminished is going to be always going to be a whole step, half step, half step continuously to the end of time. And the dominant diminished is going to be half step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step continuously. This does not have that. You can develop your diminished arpeggio because of all the major thirds in here, but it isn't your symmetrical scale. So like I say, we've started on E, we've got whole step, half step, whole step, half step. That's actually that's what it, that right there is where it keeps it from being asymmetrical, because of that minor third there. So what keeps it from being a symmetrical scale is whole step, whole step, and then right here another whole step, half step, then a minor third, and then a half step, whole step, half step. Okay, so but you can still create a diminished chord out of that. Okay, but you're not. You can use a different scale over. You can use your diminished over that if you want. You know, it's the symmetrical scale diminished is, but you want to use, just depends on what key you're in when you're playing that. So you'll utilize that in a certain key. You see a diminished chord, you can use the Ionian augmented 5 depending on what key you're in. So that is the pattern. That's the sound. Now we'll get into the pattern. You just want to start like you're doing a major scale, okay? Second finger, so we're going to do it in E. Second finger, fourth finger, first finger, collapse, third finger, half step above, first finger, slide up a half step, first finger, third finger, fourth finger. Now you can do that however you want. You can slide up right there, or you can slide up. So however you want to do it, but that is the pattern. Start right there. Okay, so that's the Ionian augmented fifth. You know, it gets deep. That's why you need to jump over to iwannaplaybase.com and get into that. You know, don't start on this. Just know that, but don't put a lot of emphasis on that right now. Get the fundamentals down. Unless you're a little developed bassist, then definitely work it in there, look at it, research it, dial it in, dig into it, and tear it apart and just break it down. But definitely you want to build on your fundamentals first. You're solid. Get some technique builders down there as well. So hope you got some value out of this. If you did, hit that like button. Help me help you, and I'll catch you all on the flip-flop in the next video. Bye now.